I am finding myself uncomfortably high on Jerry Jeudy. Just a fantastic. I know they drafted 2 quarterbacks, but they drafted them so late that I feel a little bit more hope that we're going to get double-digit games from Joe Flacco. And if we don't, they've got a pair of rookie quarterbacks. So maybe if they go to the rookie will not be an absolute atrocious quarterback. They didn't draft a number 2 wide receiver. So it's Jeudy and Tillman and David Njoku, clearly atop the target list. This is going to sound outlandish, but I think if Joe Flacco plays 15, 16 games, Jerry Jeudy could be a top 12 wide receiver.
Well, let's see what he was weeks 8 through 15 with Jameis Winston.
Top 3?
He was third per game. I mean, he was on pace for 1,900 yards on 168 targets. I mean, that's really good per target. That's a lot of targets, but still 119 catches, 1,900 yards, 7 touchdowns on 168 targets. That was Jerry Jeudy's pace. In that stretch, Cleveland quarterbacks were on pace for almost 5,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and a hilarious 32 interceptions. They averaged 42 pass attempts per game and 294 passing yards per game. So that was mostly Jameis Winston there. So Flacco can maybe be like a Winston light, but so where do you have him ranked, Jeudy?
He is definitely in the teens at wide receiver. Probably going to settle right around 16 or 17.
Was it a Mark Cooper? Sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
Oh, do you fear the quarterback change at some point, though?
I fear it a little bit. I fear it a little less because they didn't take Sanders in round 1 or round 2. Like the fact that I don't really fear Dylan Gabriel taking the job from Joe Flacco, and I don't really I don't know why Kenny Pickett's still on the roster, but I don't know. And I'm not ready to rule out the fact that Shedeur Sanders could be okay as a quarterback.
So give me some names. Can you give me some names that are around him in the rankings?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So I think Terry McLaurin.
Oh, all right, Dave, Jamie, McLaurin, or Jeudy?
McLaurin.
I would say McLaurin, but I haven't adjusted my receiver rankings yet. That'll be today. I think Judy's got a chance to be clearly special. You bring this up a lot, Adam. When we talk about Jeudy in the week 8 on that Tillman missed a good chunk of that time also, and so the start of the Jameis post Deshaun run for him was Tillman. Those first 3 games, I think it was 3. Were pretty dominant, so I don't view that necessarily as a huge detractor for Jeudy. I think they all can kind of rise up, as a result of Flacco taking over because of what he did that stretch run, those 5 games of 2023. My concern is that it's not necessarily just that it's Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders and the draft capital they spent on them, and obviously Kenny Pickett being, somewhat of just a throw-in player that they had this offseason. It's the fact that Flacco's 40, and does he get the long leash to play out the string here? Because if you're the Browns, as a franchise, you want to lose, right? You want to get the chance to get your franchise quarterback next year. These guys are sort of, I think in a trial period, see what Dylan Gabriel maybe can do if he gets a couple starts. See what maybe Shedeur Sanders, you would hope it would be him, gets a trial period if he gets a couple starts. At what point do they say, okay, Flacco went 4-1 for them and got them in the playoffs? They're not winning anything with Joe Flacco. I don't think that's a shocker, but they can hang around with Flacco, and I think that's I wonder where Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski come out on that. You obviously don't want to lose, but you also don't want to win. They're sort of in this purgatory.
No, they want to win. Come on, they want to win.
Obviously,
you love that angle, Jamie.
Look, if you were to say to them right now, they have a legitimate chance to win the AFC North and compete for a Super Bowl, they're obviously going to take that.
Yes.
And Joe Flacco clearly gives them the best chance to do that. Nobody's going to argue that. It's not going to be Pickett or the rookies. But their whole goal was to get as much draft pick capital for 2026 as they could. They did that. Their whole goal is to get out of the Deshaun Watson contract. They're doing that. This is not a team that is right now set up to compete at the highest level.
No, and when they struggle, they will go to the rookie because why
And so
not?
again, to circle back on my stupid tangent, but that's my question is like, does Jerry Jeudy succeed to the level of a guy you're drafting in the teens if Joe Flacco's starting 5 games?
All right.
I don't think he'll succeed like Amari Cooper succeeded in 2023. I mean, that was
or
bonkers.
Jeudy did last year. But I still think
it's
he'll be
pretty
good.
close to what Jeudy did last year.
Yeah.
I think you try and draft Jeudy away from that ceiling, but still, I've got him as a number 3 receiver, but top 30 and somebody that I absolutely would love to have on my team to start the year.
Jamie mentioned age, and so this was just a fun thing that I realized again. I think I've had several Jerry Jeudy age realizations over the years. But do you know that he's closer to Drake London's age than Terry McLaurin's?
How old is he?
Yeah, he's young.
He just turned 26. He's younger than Jalen Waddle.
Sure.
He's younger than Jalen Waddle. Wow.